So I put them all. I took the relic cards because they're thick boys. They're
Hmm.
real fat boys, and everything's in top.
Inconveniently fat.
Yes, like me. Um, Hand and short. Mateo literally sitting on the moon. Ramon Arias playing second base.
It was fun going to games again. It was fun feeling the energy of the yard. And I'm ready for the next step.
They're all exciting pieces, and I mean, you could look at a lot of lineups this year and you could really feel good about the game, and I don't think we could say that for the last few years.
Thank you, Scott. Welcome to episode 62 of the Talkin Birdy podcast. Today it's just Ryan and Josh. We don't know what's going on with Brad. We hope he's all right. Hopefully he calls us here any minute. But for right now, it's just going to be me and Joshy. So, Josh, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. I feel like I always think of a bunch of things to say when you say how you doing, or when I'm thinking of it pre-recording, and then we hit record, and I'm like, I did nothing the last 8 days. That's how it happened. Poor Brad. We were supposed to record on Wednesday night though, and Ryan couldn't come. And the main point of this episode was to tell our time in Sarasota, and that's kind of hard to do with only one of the two people that went. So we postponed to tonight. Brad said it was fine. He's not here. So I don't know what's going on, but Ryan, how you doing?
I'm good. I mean, I'm thinking he probably just fell asleep like I did that
Yeah,
one time. So
he's watching some March Madness, I'm sure.
that's actually true. He's probably is just watching basketball. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's probably just watching basketball. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is what it is. We're still not into the season yet, so still not a whole lot of content to talk about. But yeah, we can go over our fun little trip to spring training. Oh yeah, you asked me how I was doing. Sorry. Doing good. Doing good. Work's a little slow right now, which is kind of concerning. But hey man, can you pause really quick and we can just cut this? My dad's. Well, you didn't
So
even
no
give
head.
me it. You didn't. Please keep that in the final cut.
I'll keep it.
All right, cool. Anyways, sorry about that. Sorry for that break, folks. Got a phone call.
Not from Brad.
Not from Brad, unfortunately. Who's who we really want to call. Yeah. I forgot where I was.
Work is
Where was
slow. Work
Yeah,
is slow,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
Work is-
concerning, and I was going to ask why.
Work is slow. It's just because we're a small company. We're a small
Yeah.
company, and when it gets slow, it's.
You're
mean,
more
I'm
check
not.
to check than the corporations, more so.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, our boss overbids the shit out of basically every job that we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we still got a little bit of work to do, but the last 2 days, me and my one coworker have been at the storage shop that my boss has, and he bought these Fastenal bins, and we were going sorting through every piece of hardware that he owns and organizing it into bins.
Inventory.
Yeah. And it just feels so freaking pointless.
Because it probably is, but
Yeah.
he knows how many washers he has now, and that's important.
I can tell you exactly how many because that's what I did today was washers.
How many is that?
So many, so freaking many, and I was going through. My coworker started this project by himself, and he had done. He was in the Navy, so he's got all the qualities of someone who's organized and all that stuff. So he's the one that's leading the charge on this deal. And I got to he had a bin that had machine screws and washers in it. I went to start labeling the washers thing that he had. And I noticed that it was a bin full like this. And I noticed that there were two different sizes in there. I was like, "Hey Ben, did you sort these?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think you did." And so I started going through them. I'm sorry, they were nuts. They weren't washers. They were nuts. And so I had to go through each and every single washer with a 632 bolt and an 832 bolt and like screw each nut onto a bolt to figure out which thread
Oh
it
my
was and then put it
gosh.
into, yeah.
Is this one of those projects where the one person cares significantly more about the end result than the other people?
Neither one of us care.
Okay.
It's just we're trying to do this in a way that our boss won't like, screech at us about it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Josh, it's 4-0 now.
4-0.
They're so bad.
Speaking of concerning,
Pain.
rather
Pain.
count nuts than watch the Caps.
Suffering. Yes. Unironically.
Can't wait to watch them play the awful Penguins next week as well.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty Oh I didn't mean to do that.
Multiple hits.
I didn't mean to do that. Keyboard's sensitive.
I'm
We'll see.
sorry.
Let's try that again.
Retarded.
There we go.
There we go. Ruiz.
Shout out to Freddie for sending me that video when I called him in the middle of the day when we were in Sarasota to ask him for that video.
And he answered, and he delivered
He
within
did.
5 minutes, I think. Yeah.
It was
excellent.
it was the best. As he picked up, he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Yo, you remember that video where Scott tried to say Rio Ruiz and it sounded like he was having a stroke?" And he was like, "It was in Oakland. I remember it like it was yesterday."
We're trying to explain, I think, the differences between our broadcast quality in
Yeah.
the last few years to my friend from high school who happens to live down there now, and that video is just what we needed to get the real point across,
Yeah.
and he understood.
Should I tell my card story, Josh?
Tell your card story.
Should I? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if people think it was funny, but
Yeah, sure.
okay.
We're killing time on this episode.
That's true.
We're just doing 2 topics today.
So, not that it really holds a tremendous amount of value, but my best baseball card that I own is a numbered to 75, 2021 Topps Inception Ryan Mountcastle patch auto. It's my favorite card. I love this card. I spent probably too much money on it, but I really wanted it. And a long time ago, I wanted to get my cards out of the binders that they were in because I was afraid of them getting damaged. So I put them all. I took the relic cards because they're thick boys. They're real fat boys, and everything's in top.
Conveniently fat.
Yes, like me. Can that be the clip? Just that,
Yeah,
that
we
right
do
there.
that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I took them out. I took my autos out and I put them in like a little mini lunchbox to keep them stored safe so that they could be in top loaders at all times. And then I did the same thing with my relic cards. Well, my wife cleaned up our room and moved some stuff around. She likes to just rearrange our furniture setup in there when she feels like it. So like that's what she did. And then the other day I went looking for that card. I think I wanted to take a picture of it. I think I was trying to I was going to try to sell it to somebody or something. I don't know. I realized I couldn't find it. I'd forgotten that I'd separated them. And so I texted Josh and I was like, dude, my Mountie patch auto is missing. And you were like, how the fuck is
it's gone.
Oh yeah, I said it's gone. And then you're like, how is it gone? I was like, I don't know, man. I was freaking out a little bit. I was like, I don't know, man. It's gone though. It's missing. I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere it could be. I know where I keep my cards. It's gone. It's missing. And you were like, well, fortunately, it can't have gotten far because cards don't have legs.
Real.
Yeah.
Stand by that.
Well, it's true. It's a factual statement. So a couple days go by, and I actually have started to accept that this card is just gone. And I'm never gonna see it again.
My best card in my entire collection.
Best card in my collection.
away.
And I'm just never gonna see it again. So then I remembered. Oh yeah, that's right. I had when I first started getting back into cards, I bought one of those collectible tins that they did with Topps 2021.
That's what I put my graded cards or cards I want to send out for grading in is like an Aaron Judge tin.
They're really nice for Just storing cards and stuff. Yeah, and they look cool too. Mine has Cody Bellinger on it. Which one's yours?
Mine's a Judge one. Yeah. I think I threw away the Harper and the Bellinger one, and I was just left with the Judge one.
So I remembered that that's where I had them. So then I started looking for this tin. Couldn't find the tin either. I went from asking my wife if she'd seen the card to like, hey, have you seen a like metal box that has Cody Bellinger on it? Like, probably sounds like lunacy.
Who's that?
Yeah. I think I found a picture and sent it to her, and she was like, no, I don't really remember seeing that. So then I again entered the stages of accepting that my Mountcastle card and my other relic cards that I own, because I have some other decent relic cards, including a couple other Mounties.
Relic cards are underrated because
Yeah.
like they go for super cheap on eBay, and I think I could have bought a Juan Soto 2023 relic, him in a Padres uniform for like $5. Didn't do it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I hit an Altuve bat piece relic in
Nice.
the box that I got, but it's going for like $4.
Yeah, you might as well just keep them.
Yep, probably will. So yeah, and then the other day, I get home from work. I want to plug my phone in, and my phone cord is like draped over the side of my dresser. So I grab it real quick and pull it hard, and that pulling motion of the cord knocks over a baseball cap that I had sitting on my dresser. And there, where the cap sat, was... Muted myself. Whoopsie.
You're back.
Yeah. There, sitting where the cap once sat, was my Cody Bellinger tin. And I opened it, and I gazed upon my Mountcastle patch auto, and I was happy. I was very, very happy. And then
It's the
I
same
felt
feeling
really,
as when you got it back in the mail.
Yes. And then I felt really, really stupid because I was like, I've looked everywhere, and it was under a hat that was sitting right there the whole time.
I think based on the text too, like a week had passed between when you panicked and when you found it. So like,
Yeah, it was
you had
about
a lot
week.
of time to run into it.
Yep. I looked at that hat every day.
I actually forgot to tell you this story, but this reminds me of the night before the flight to Sarasota or to Tampa, I guess. I was looking for shorts because a couple weeks before the trip, I bought some shorts from this discount sporting goods store up here. They have like where all the shit that doesn't sell in the stores goes, or if it's recalled or whatever. So I got these 2 pairs of shorts that were like really nice. I was going to wear them with the games and stuff, and for $15 a piece or something. I was like, that's a pretty good deal. So I was like, I got to bring these to Sarasota. And we're house sitting in the South Hills right now, and our house is in the North Hills. So I'm like, okay, there's no way it's at this house because that can't be possible. We haven't been here since we bought them. So they have to be at other house. I go to other house, I tear everything up. I have all these totes open, can't find these shorts. So I'm like, well, maybe I put them in like a laundry basket at the other house. So I go back to the other house. This is like 11 p.m., by the way, the night before the flight at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm running back and forth across the city of Pittsburgh looking for these 2 pairs of shorts, and they're not here. So I'm like, as soon as I get back here, or no, I went back to the house again because I had to go get something else anyway. So I was like, I'm just going to go. It's like a 15 minute drive. So it's not that bad, but it's north to south in the city. And I go there and I'm like, man, where the hell could this be? I'm like looking in new places I didn't think before. I'm like, there's no way it's in these areas. So I come back to this house accepting that my shorts are gone. I'm just going to wear some other shorts. And as soon as I closed the door to get out of the car and come into the house, I remembered where they were at the other house. They were in my travel suitcase that I forgot to, because I wasn't bringing it because they wouldn't fit in the carry-on restrictions. So I wasn't going to bring it. But at the time when I bought the shorts, I didn't know that. So the shorts were sitting in the carry-on. So I left at 11 p.m. I told Sarah, or like 11:30. I told Sarah, I was like, I'm 90% certain I left those things in the closet, in the suitcase, sitting there. I go there, lo and behold, they're sitting in there. I was pissed. I grabbed them and went home and got to sleep. But that was my short story, and I only wore like one of the pairs, I think. So
Don't you feel so dumb after something like that? You just feel so stupid.
Like, I was mad at myself for not checking in there when I went back to the house, but I was more mad at past self for putting them there, because who the fuck put shorts
Yeah,
in
why?
the
Yeah, like
suitcase?
why would you put them
Like,
there? Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, so
yeah,
dumb
it's pretty
brain moments this week.
pretty
Retarded.
Yeah, that's a good summary. Anyway, speaking of the Sarasota trip, we went to that.
We did. That is the thing that we did.
We did the thing.
Yep. So it was was it like 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks
Three
ago.
weeks
Yeah.
3 weeks
2
ago
weeks
now.
ago tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago today.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a weird travel schedule. Josh lives in Pittsburgh. I live in Frederick, Maryland. So we agreed to meet in Florida. Josh got an Allegiant flight from Pittsburgh to St. Petersburg Airport. I got a flight from BWI to Tampa.
For some reason.
It's because it was in the time slot you could, and it was affordable for you. But yeah, so Josh gets down there. He walks to a Cracker Barrel.
Now hold on. we have a rental car situation to explain also. So Ryan was tasked. I think we explained a bit of this on the last show.
We did.
But Ryan was tasked with the rental car.
Because I'm a boomer and don't get upcharged for a young driver fee.
Yeah, so I'm getting there first. I have to wait a couple hours for Ryan to get in. So I'm at St. Pete Airport, but the rental car is at Tampa's airport. So it's about a 30-minute drive between.
Also, that's my bad, by the way. I brain farted and forgot that you were flying into St. Pete. So that was my fault.
I don't know if there was even a free delivery to there, but it probably would have been worth it after.
It didn't even end up being free. I still had to pay an airport fee.
What?
Yeah,
that's dumb.
The little flag that says free airport delivery is lies.
It is entirely lies.
It's entirely lies and entirely bullshit.
So yeah, I land in St. Pete. I am looking up Uber prices to get to Tampa, and I'm looking. It says like $65 to drive I think it was 9 miles or something like that. And I was like, well, I can't pay that, so I'm not going to. So I was looking up different areas around me, and I saw that there was a Cracker Barrel. That if you walk to the Cracker Barrel, it's like a mile, and it cuts your Uber price in half. So I walked in the 40-mile-an-hour winds that were going on down there at the time on this dusty highway, oncoming traffic coming. I was on a sidewalk, so I wasn't doing anything stupid, but I felt stupid, I'll tell you that. I had my little backpack walking down the highway to the Cracker Barrel. I am sweating my ass off by the time I get there because I have joggers and a long sleeve on in 80-degree Florida, and I walked double door at the Cracker Barrel, threw both open, walked in the bathroom, changed into shorts, got my Uber, went to the airport. That's my story. Saved $30 in the process.
That was really funny because I was sitting at my gate waiting to get on my flight, and you called me. I figured you were just telling me that you were on the ground or something, and I just pick up. I'm like, hello, and it's like you're like, hey, I'm walking to a Cracker Barrel to get the Uber right now.
There's planes flying over. Because I was at the end of the St. Pete parking lot, and there was a highway right in front of that, so it's traffic with wind in an open parking lot.
Yeah. So shortly after that, I get on my flight, and for anybody who's flown Southwest before, which anybody who lives in Baltimore probably has, if you've flown Southwest before, you'll know that the system they use for boarding is pretty unique. And, it's all based on when you check in. You can pay for early check-in that almost guarantees you an early boarding spot. But in this instance, I couldn't because I changed my flight last minute, and it wouldn't have had any point because all the early check-ins had already happened. So I get B46 boarding position, which is essentially last. 100% full flight. By the time I got on, I walked all the way to the back of the plane. Not a single aisle or window seat left.
No shot.
Ended up in the middle, stuck between this guy that was wearing flip-flops, which is really gross, and some man that was even larger than me. So we were just we were just melting into the same person. So yeah, flight down kind of sucked in that aspect. The flight itself was fine, but it was uncomfortable. Got down, met Josh, Josh drove in. Josh picked up the car. Everything went well with that. And
I
then
meant to ask, how'd you did you see the O's hat? Because we had the same O's hat on, and I was
Yeah.
I only saw your little white panel hat in the crowd of people, and I was like, my guy.
yep.
Okay.
I knew what car to look for as well, but I
Okay.
also saw the hat.
Fair.
Yeah, so you picked me up. We went to Sun City Center, Florida, which is a pretty nice little
Yes.
town, I must say.
Not bad.
It's on the east side of Tampa Bay. Checked into our very, very nice Airbnb that you got for us.
Yep. Shout out
I gotta
to
s- I
Eve
got-
for that house, because it was like 2 rooms, a bathroom, full bathroom, and it was like perfectly quiet for like the whole time we were there for like $50. I was like, dude,
Yep.
yeah.
For as much as you paid, I really thought we were going to be spooning.
I mean, I made sure to find one with like 2 beds because I if we had
But you
to
got to
make
get
that
but you got to
arrangement.
get spooning, Josh.
Nothing wrong there.
I'm a
If
good
we ended
spooner.
up in like a twin bed, things might have been a little.
God.
Yeah, I just wanted that to not something that come up. Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's funny because
Straight
we
to
were
the game.
we were at the B&B for a grand total of like awake hours. We were there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if we're not counting sleep, we were at the B&B for like 20 minutes.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
We changed, went right to the game. It was a really, really nice night. It was like a
Yeah, that was a good night.
slightly breezy, low 80s. It got really hot the next day, but really, really nice that night. We watched Kyle Gibson start, and he was a little shaky, I would say. He got hit hard a little bit in the first inning. But
Then that was the only runs for the entire game. Was the first inning.
yeah. Yeah. We got treated to some really boring baseball over those 2 days.
Yeah, the Braves game was a little better, but that
Oh,
Pirates Orioles game was like I think 1-1, 1-1.
It was 1-1. 1-1.
1-1,
1-1
and then
tie
the
because
tie.
they tied and then lost.
Right. Did we do anything after that? Did we just go straight to the Airbnb and went to sleep?
Yeah, we went straight back because we both had long days that day.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention I worked a half day. So
Yeah.
I was up at 4:30, work at 6:00 in Canton, in Baltimore, which sucked because that was a last minute change. We were supposed to be at this job site in Jessup, which is only like 10 minutes from the airport. The switch to Canton made it like a 20-minute drive, a little over 20 minutes. So it made I already didn't have a whole lot of time to work with my
Yeah.
flight departing at like 11:50. And this left me with even less time. So yeah, I worked until 10:00, left, got in my car, drove to the airport, did a full change of clothes in the airport parking garage.
based.
Yeah, grabbed my bag, took the bus over to the terminal. So yeah, I don't like getting to the airport late, man. I really don't. It's like a fear I have of like missing my flight. So
Oh, yeah.
I am always a 2 hours before before departure kind of guy. And I think I got to my gate at 11:10. Boarding was starting at 11:20.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
thank
did have a
goodness.
complaint. Oh,
What's that?
about my flight down. It was nice that the middle seat was empty. It was just me and this like mid-20s female. I think we were in there, but we were having a nice conversation. And then as soon as I think like what happened? We weren't even like pulling out of the gate yet, and she like threw in headphones and was done. I was like, this was like we were talking. It was okay.
I had an interesting seatmate on my flight home too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked my guy.
So my flight home only had 49 people on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Was
it
that,
was
like
very
half capacity.
It's like not even half capacity.
Not
I
even
think
half.
that airplane holds 140 some people. So like a third capacity. So yeah, they were like everybody spread out, like just spread out. I did have early check-in for that one because that is the flight that I had booked previously. I was the second person to board the plane. There was one person that had business select, so he was in front of me, but I was after him. I was the second person to get on the plane. Sat in the bulkhead row, which has like triple the leg room of anywhere else. You're in the very front of the plane. You're the first person to get off. I was thinking maybe I'll get lucky, and because there's so little people on this plane, people would rather have a row to themselves than sit up front, since I was already there. But
That's what I would choose.
Yeah. So this old lady, she's like 65, probably 70, something like that, comes and sits there, and she's got this big ass bag, and she's like, like, I mean, she can't even get it past her waist. So I get up. I'm like, here, I got you. So I stick it up in the overhead bin for her. And then she's trying to get her seatbelt, and she's got a drink in her hand, and she can't. She's just having a tough time. So I was like, would you like me to hold your drink for you? And she's like, oh, that would be lovely. Thank you. So I hold her drink for her. She gets her seatbelt on, and then she just pulls out her phone and just starts looking at it. And I'm just sitting there.
Really?
Holding her drink. She's like, and then she's like holding her phone, and she goes like, where did my, and then I just held it out to her and shit.
Served hot.
Yeah. And then she started talking to me, just small talk and shit. And she's like, boy, this is real nice up here. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. She's like, do you
It'd be
sit
cool
up?
if I had this aisle to myself.
Yeah, I know. She's like, do you sit up here often? I was like, I'll be honest, it's actually the first time I've ever been able to sit up here. She's like, yeah, this is just great. Of course, though, if the plane crashes, we die first. And I said, that's
hell of a thought.
I said, that's a way to look at it for sure. I told that story of my coworker, and he was like, you said she was an old lady? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, she's ready to check out.
She's ready to go. Yeah. She's almost hoping that plane crashes.
Yeah,
Oh
but then
gosh.
it was kind of like the same thing. We pushed back, and she just stopped talking, which is fine. I was more than okay with that. But she was chatterbox beforehand, and then
That's what
lights
I'm
in the
trying to
cabin
explain.
turned off, and it was just over.
It's over. Well, because my lady was asking me questions and stuff. I had finally expressed I'm from Michigan. I live in Pittsburgh now, and then
Is this your flight home or your flight going down?
flight going down there,
Okay.
and then she's like the stewards or whatever, they start doing the safety demonstration, and then that was it until the flight was over. And I was like, dude, we were in the middle of the sentence.
She takes a safety demo very seriously. Okay.
Yes, how can you not? I think that was actually the first safety demo I've heard in its entirety, though, where I actually heard the words they were saying, because I never do. I don't think anyone does. But anyway, not a lot of baseball notes on day one. I think the only thing I would say is that Kobe Mayo is a massive human. That was the only baseball notes from day one.
Could see it from far away, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, and then the next
in
day
awe at the size of that lad.
Yeah, the next day we were standing right first row by the field when they were walking out after warm-ups and stuff, and just Kobe Mayo walking by. He's insanely huge for a 21-year-old. He's 6'5", 230 or something like that. He looks every bit of it.
Some people have all the genetic luck.
Yeah, it's true.
It would be funny if his parents were midgets.
He's just this massive human in their living room all the time.
Yeah.
Every scouting report about him, he has the highest exit velos in the organization. I was like, what? He's the same size as everyone else. He's only 21. Nah,
Nope.
He's built different. Simply
built extremely different.
Maverick Hanley also built different.
Yeah,
that's the baseball notes.
But we could talk about. Ed Smith Stadium is a beautiful facility.
Yeah, if you get the chance to go down there, folks, do it. We're gonna try to make this a yearly thing if we can. It was impressive.
Eat and have your drinks beforehand. That selection is pretty minimal.
Yeah.
But the aesthetics of the facility is gorgeous. I was really impressed for a spring training, field. I was blown away, actually.
Yeah. And the parking situation actually is not too bad. It's $10, I think, is what we paid. 10 or 12 bucks, and
12,
you had to walk maybe a 3-minute walk to the field. It was not bad at all. And it's literally a minor league park that they put big leaguers on. That's how close you feel if you've been to a lot of minor league games.
It's about the size of a AAA stadium.
Yeah, double or triple A. Like if you've been, I think I compared it while we were down there, but like the Akron Rubber Duck Stadium, very comparable, like capacity size to Ed Smith.
I've only
It's
ever
very
actually
nice.
I've only ever actually been to one AAA stadium, and it was Cheney Stadium in Tacoma for the Rainiers. And actually,
Yeah,
I want to
you
say that stadium's actually probably bigger than Ed
like,
Smith.
probably. I mean, Triple A tries to pack them in there. Some of those get up to 20 some thousand people.
Yep.
Ed Smith, I don't think came anywhere near that.
No, I think Rox tweets about it being sellouts, he'll be like, it's a sellout crowd, and it'll be like a 9,000 people.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It was packed both days we were down there, though.
Sure was. That's another thing that surprised me. I just wouldn't think people in the area would care, and
Right, yeah.
and I didn't think that there would be that many people that traveled to do it. But apparently, I was wrong, and there's a lot of people that do it.
Yeah. I think if we had another day down there, it would have been cool. Like another full day, I guess. Bradenton's pretty close to where we were. It would have been cool to see a different facility as well. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was a really cool place.
We can try to factor that into our next visit.
Yeah, for sure. We have a couple of friends here who my buddy Brett, who we've mentioned on here sometimes, he's a Pirates fan. He wants to go down there as well. And Sarah wanted to come next year because Florida. And then Brett's girlfriend can also come, and then they can do their thing while we all go to baseball games.
Guess you can bring Sarah. I guess.
Consider it for me.
Yeah. I want my dad to come too.
Yeah,
Love it.
same. Yeah. I mean, it's just like pure baseball down there.
Yep.
A lot of facilities. You don't see just like lone fields down there. It's complexes. It is 6 fields in a
Yep.
complex. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. I
Just the
enjoyed you're right, there's a whole like minor league aesthetic about it, like even down to the fact that the stadium's clubhouse is not, there's no direct like passageway to the dugout. It's, it's a building that's out beyond the right field fence, and the guys have to get changed out there, and then they have to walk through the fence and walk down the warning track to get to the dugout. Yeah, it's a very minor league experience, but with big league players.
Yeah, you
That's
won't find that on a big league field.
No,
Not
you
that many
won't.
of them.
I mean, I took a picture with Gunnar Henderson just because he was walking past, and I asked him if he would.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Could
cool.
have done that with everybody. Jackson Holiday was right there signing autographs.
Yep.
Trying to think who else gave a lot of time. I think didn't Stowers hang out for a minute?
Stowers hung out for a little bit. I think I saw Mountcastle down there the first
Day
game.
2 or first game.
Game 1, yeah.
He was playing game 1. He didn't play game 2, so I guess that
Right.
makes sense. Oh, I was pissed though. Ryan McKenna came out of the dugout when we were down there. So then I
Yeah.
tried to get him when he subbed out, and I think we missed it by a couple seconds. 'Cause
He
was
wanted
already past that part.
he wanted no parts of you. That's all that was.
I know. There's no way he's seen anyone else wear a Ryan McKenna jersey to Orioles games. And
It was so
he missed
funny
a
that-
shot, really.
That guy that was sitting behind you, like he got a hit and he was like tapped you on the shoulder. He's like, "That's your boy."
That's your boy. I was like, hell yeah, it is. You know it. I thought it was funny because at the beginning of the game, the same guy was like, McKenna, where's he at now? And I was like, center field. He's like, oh, I didn't know he's still on the team.
Is that why you said that? I didn't hear him say that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, he was like, where's McKenna at these days? And I was like, he's out there in center. And Saturday was a more packed day, I'd say, because we woke up semi early, went down to the coffee shop. That was really
Great
cool.
coffee shop, by the way.
Armada's?
Armetta's. Yeah, Armetta's?
I think it's Armeadows.
No, it's definitely a feminine name. It's like Armetta, I think.
Armetta, then, okay. Armetta's Coffee and Creamery, I think, because they did ice cream too.
They also did ice cream. Yep. They had great coffee. They have a very Italian owner that loves Juventus. So if you're
Yes.
a Juventus fan, make sure he doesn't see you because he will talk to you the whole time. Like
He was
tried to
telling
do
us
with me.
like the nuances of Italian like pitches versus like English pitches. It was interesting.
And how like Napoli fans are pieces of shit.
Yeah. He was very passionate about that subject.
Yeah. I've heard the same thing. It's not just him. Apparently there's been incidents in multiples of their Champions League home games with away fans being assaulted. So there's some legitimacy to that stereotype there. Yeah. It was good coffee though, really good coffee. I think I got a bagel breakfast sandwich that they had. Yeah, their whole thing was like Bronx style New York bagels, which I have no idea
Yeah.
what distinguishes a New York bagel from something else. If you know, hit us up because I'd love to know.
Sound off in the comments.
Yes, I don't. I see them talk about New York style bagel all the time, and I just genuinely have no fucking clue. Like,
Let me see if there's a quick answer to this, but if not, I'm giving up. Let's see. New York style bagel is the original style of bagel available in the US. So are all bagels just New York style bagels that we know of? Oh, right here. That's the way they're made. So traditional New York style bagels are submerged in boiling water for a couple of minutes before baked, whatever that means.
okay, all right. Well, at least we
Alright.
have an answer. That's fun.
Yeah. So it's in the way it's prepared, I guess. I think our biggest complaint about our setup for the trip was the lack of being in Sarasota for the flight and the Airbnb. But
Yeah, we spent an alarmingly low amount of time in Sarasota.
yeah, Arsenal game was fun.
Yes, it was. That was such a good time.
I'll let you tell that. That was
Yeah,
your
so
game right there.
obviously anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge Arsenal fan. Fuck Tottenham. So we found this bar that was just advertised as an English football bar. And as it turns out, it was just a spot for, Premier League fans to gather on match days. And there was a bunch of TVs started by this old guy that moved over from Newcastle, England. Still tended the bar. I think I saw his wife working there too. Yep. And it was neat because, you had fans of 4 or 5 different teams pop in and they would all kind of congregate at a table. They would have a TV in front of that table and everyone would just kind of sit in like their little pockets and they'd watch their game.
It's a cool environment. Like, just I don't have any experience being in other soccer bars, I guess, but that was cool.
It was very fun, and it was a lot of Arsenal fans there. And Josh, I'm getting another phone call. So can we pause again?
Yeah.
So as I was saying, I would say mostly Arsenal fans there. And so we get the big TV. So we sit down and we start the game, and Bournemouth run this cute little kickoff routine. They get a lucky bounce in the box and they score a goal 9 seconds in. And Bournemouth are pretty trash, so I really wasn't concerned. But I was like, this is like not ideal. And of course, these fucking Mongoloid Tottenham fans sitting behind us were like, up the cherries. Our game is still boring. We just want to root against you.
That's basically how it went too.
Yeah. So the game goes on.
Neutral.
Game goes on. Arsenal, all the ball, all the possession, all the attack, can't break through. Goes to halftime, 1-0. Still not worried at all. Then Bournemouth get a random corner some point in the second half. I think it was around the 65th minute, something of the sort.
I think it was like minute 48 or something like that. Like, it was not far out of halftime. I could be wrong.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was a little farther than that, but maybe I'm overestimating a little bit. They run a nice corner routine. Thomas Partey loses his man. Guy heads home, and it's 2-0. The Mongoloids are getting louder.
In their 0-0 game.
In their 0-0 game. That is, yes, as boring to watch as any Tottenham game. So, but I think it was only about 5 minutes later, Arsenal score off a corner routine. Partey scores 2-1. So you're feeling a little better about it. Then Ben White scores his first Arsenal goal. By the way, I was wrong. He had scored a Premier League goal before when he played for Brighton, but it was only one.
Okay.
One Y. So it was only his second Premier League goal, but his first for Arsenal.
Right.
So I was wrong with that. Ben White scores. It's 2-2. We're laughing, clapping, singing along, and yelling at the Tottenham fans whose game is still 0-0 at that point. Game goes on. Again, Arsenal just pressing, have all the ball. Can't quite break through for a winner.
at some point along this, Wolves score, take the 1-0 lead over Tottenham, and we gave everything back tenfold. It was so much fun because all they could do was sit and be sad.
So there's a good like 20 fans per each team, about 15, 20.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
decent for a small bar like
A
that.
lot of people there. Yep. And then late on in stoppage time, the referee actually added on a little more time for stoppage because the Bournemouth goalkeeper was wasting time. And Odegaard swings a corner in. It's going to be the last kick of the game. And Bournemouth guy heads it clear, but it falls right to Reece Nelson on the edge of the box. And he blasts home the most beautiful goal I have ever seen in my life for the win. And me and the rest of the Arsenal fans are just jumping and just screaming. And it was so much fun. Mostly because those fucking idiots had to sit there and watch us be happy. Like, because their game went final too, like right before that happened.
Right as it happened. Yeah.
So they lost, and then they had
Like
to see
Arsenal
us.
fans weren't paying any attention to that game at all to like
No.
do any quips or anything.
Yeah, because we were, and after we finished celebrating, we saw the score on the TV. We're like, ah! So yeah, that was such a good time. Had some beers there, and then I mean the timings of that day kind of just. I don't know if you noticed or not. The timings of that day all worked out like perfectly.
Oh yeah.
We wrapped up the game at the bar, went straight over to Ed Smith.
It was like
Parked.
12:15 when that game wrapped up too.
Yeah.
So like it was like a 5-minute drive to Ed Smith, and we were in the gate at like 12:40.
Yep. We parked, we chilled, got to see some players beforehand. We watched the game, went and met up with your buddy, had dinner with him. And then the timing was perfect. We just went right back to Tampa. You dropped me off at the airport.
My timing didn't work out quite as nicely. My flight got delayed about 3 hours, and so I lost the rental car at 9. I turned it in at about 8:30 anyway. I just messed around at Dollar Tree, got some snacks for the flight back. Had nothing to do because the Airbnb was lost. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do because my flight was supposed to leave at I think 11. So I was like, it's about that 2-hour time. So I dropped the car off at like 8:30. I get in there and I get the text. I think as you got no, Sarah sent it to me actually because she was getting my emails at the time, and she sends me the screenshot, just no all caps because it got pushed back to like 12:15.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ended up landing until about like 2:30, 3 a.m. My head didn't hit the pillow till 4 a.m. That was tough, but I made it.
And you had to
No
work. You
naps.
had to work that day too, didn't you?
I had to work. It was a 10 p.m. start or 10 a.m. start the next day, so it wasn't like terribly bad or anything. And Sundays are slow, so it worked out okay. But that was a long night of pacing the terminal in Tampa. Luckily, it was a long terminal, and I had a baseball in my bag, so I was just kind of walking back and forth, throwing it in my hands. And there was this guy right at the terminal before we were going, and his flight to Boston got delayed. So he just was he set his bag down where I was reading my book for a minute, and he set his bag down and just started doing laps around these like empty chairs. And I was like, what the fuck's this guy doing? So as I was getting up to leave, like he wasn't like making any sort of weird vibes. I was like, that's just I don't know what you're doing, man. So I'm gonna head out of here. But as I was getting up to leave, he like was finishing his lap as he was facing me, and I was standing up, and he's like, gotta get my exercise in. I was like, yeah, man. And then he just started talking to me about how his flight got delayed, and I said mine did too, and we basically went on our way. But when I came back after my next lap of throwing baseballs into my hand, he's yelling at this maintenance guy who works for the airport. And I just saw that the maintenance guy was like by his stuff where he had set it down, and the guy was doing his laps nearby. And the guy confronts him and is like, what the fuck are you going through my stuff for? Like, what do you think? This is just free shit? Like, I saw what you were doing. And like the guy doesn't even like speak English. So he was just, no. just a good scene to walk into, and I was just trying to avoid it, and the guy sees me over there, and he's like, "You see that? He was going through my shit." And I was like, unreal, man. Just
I
kept
can't
doing
believe
my-
it.
Can't believe it. So I kept doing my own thing and went on our separate ways. But yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
I just wanted to say we have had another 16 seed knock off a 1 seed in the NCAA
Another one?
tournament. Yep. FDU beat Purdue.
What does that even stand for?
It's a great question. Who the fuck is FDU?
FDU. Everyone at least knew who UMBC was.
Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Tell me where that is.
I'll have to Google it.
It's in New Jersey, which makes me like them a lot less.
Yeah.
Oh well. I only made one bracket this year, and only because buddies from college they always do one every year, and I was like, I'll throw $5 in. UCLA is a winner of mine, but
UCLA?
I don't know anything about ball, dude. I know nothing. I like
Don't
UCLA.
know ball?
I don't know ball.
ball.
That was my
Okay.
bracket last year. It was called Usu Don't Know Ball.
All right.
Well, we've been going here a good 45 minutes, so
Yeah,
I think
as
on
we
that
can-
notes, we're probably fine.
We just heard from Brad, too.
Oh, what'd he say?
He forgot and his phone was charging in the other room.
All right. Catch you next time, bud.
Yeah.
We might actually do an episode next week anyway, because I
We
think the
could.
season will happen before 2 weeks from now. So we
Yeah.
have to give our preseason predictions and stuff.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this seems
And-
like a good
and
place
that'll,
to cap it.
That'll have actual
Content.
analysis and content. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, take us out of here.
All right. Well, we hope that you guys all enjoyed listening to the riveting tales of Josh and Ryan do Florida.
Part 1.
We promise that the content will get better as we get more into the season here. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good team this year. It's going to be a good time. Josh and I are going to be seeing each other again very soon, twice. Coming up pretty soon. I'm going up to Pittsburgh next weekend, and Josh is coming down here not long after that, second weekend of April.
Yeah.
So,
Excited.
yeah.
We're going golfing. It's happening.
Are we?
I'd like to, if we can.
Okay.
Okay. Friday night. Get Freddie.
Yeah, if he's even here, that
If
motherfucker's
he's
always
here.
traveling.
Yeah, dude just flies because he can.
Yeah, pretty much. He's in Orlando right now.
For what?
His dad lives there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep. But yeah,
Yep.
all right. So let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll probably be back again next week with a real episode for you. So we hope you
We told
enjoy
stories.
this.
We told trip story. It's fine.
We hope you enjoy this. If you don't, we're sorry. It'll get better. We promise. But if you did, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again very soon.